not a dream. Not a dream. We are using your brain's electrical system as a receiver. We are unable to transmit through conscious neural interference. You are receiving this broadcast as a dream.
Body bags were horror lies.
Hey guys, Rob from Georgia here with you. I'm your regular Wednesday evening host here at Body Bags. It is week 408. It is random week. It is the week that precedes our theme week, which is pandemic. And so looking forward to having some fun next week. But this week, I thought I would just continue right along. This is going to be the Italian summer, I think. As I continue to roll from one Italian film to the next, it seems. But anyways, first of all, I just want to give a huge thanks to Jason, who's come back and reclaimed his Tuesday spot. Our normal Tuesday reviewer has been moved to the Saturday spot. Some changes here at Body Bags, but I think things will get smoothed out here in a way that I think hopefully will benefit everyone on the channel in a really, really good way. So, but thanks to Jason for coming back. It is, again, Umberto Lenzi, if you will, Nightmare Beach from 1989, sort of closing out that decade of the slasher slash Italian giallo, and so he's sort of this is things have wound down. But Lenzi, now there is a bit of discussion as to either how much, if any at all, Lenzi actually is credited for directing this film. I'm not going to get into that. Lenzi's is credited, his name is on it, and therefore, as far as I'm concerned, it's a Lenzi film. Let the debaters debate. It is what it is. I'll say this. This is the Kino Lorber release, the blue. I'll say this. Sam Dowan, I think that's how you say her last name. She's a film historian. She's got the commentary on this. She gets into a lot of that stuff, man. This movie, man, is definitely worth picking up. If not for anything else, it's worth the film historian commentary because, man, she gets into freaking just Italian cinema in general. All the names come up. Diodato, Michele Soavi, Argento, Fulci. I got all of them. Martina, everyone comes up in this discussion. It's a great, nice discussion on just Italian cinema. And Lenzi, of course, since he's the focal point here in this film, Nightmare Beach. But anyways, it is a solid commentary. Definitely worth picking up, or at least upgrading for that commentary. So, Nightmare Beach. It's an interesting film. It is a slasher. It is sort of harkens back to the beach party vibe of what, the heyday of beach party movies, but with elements of slasher in here, some supernatural effect. It's a fun movie, man. I really, really have fun with this movie. The only thing I really didn't quite jive with was the end reveal. And I'm going to do my best to sort of keep that unspoiled, because I really don't want to spoil it. I'll just say this. I didn't buy it. I really there's two ways this movie goes. It begins one way, and then it's sort of, by the end, has diverted into another way. But it keeps you guessing which one is it going to land on. And that's all fine and well, but you gotta think, 1989, you've got the horror shows coming out, you've got shockers coming out, and this movie begins grandly in a very similar way. You've got the leader of a bike gang. He's been convicted of murder. He's getting the electric chair. We get that opening scene with him, his opportunity to confess. In fact, he confesses that he did not commit the murder that he's been found guilty of, and looks over at John Saxon, who's in it. Man, is he freaking awesome. Looks over at John Saxon, who's a police officer, and just basically tells him, I'm coming back for you. It's freaking awesome. It is an awesome opening way. It really harkens to, like I said, the horror show, Shocker. I freaking dig both those movies great. And then this movie begins with a real supernatural bent. But at times, it's weird. It's weird. It's almost kind of like, I wonder if they really knew where they wanted to land and ultimately just abruptly landed where they did, and the reveal, although I get it, and it's played out pretty well, I didn't buy it, man. I really wanted this movie to be on a certain pathway, and I think the movie could have been so freaking much better had they just played it a certain way. Some of the kills are pretty ingenious, although when taken with a certain eye, some of them just seem so implausible. It really just depends. I don't know, without you seeing it, if you haven't seen it, and some of this just ain't gonna make sense. If you have seen it, then you kind of know what I'm getting at. And I really don't want to spoil it. Because, not everybody digs things the same way, Lord. And I don't buy the reveal. I really wanted this to be something else. And it's really not. I don't know. Like I said, John Saxon's a freaking beast, man. Just basically, you've got this gang leader, this bike gang leader, who's been convicted of murder. We're led to believe probably, maybe, who knows, set up. And of course, he on the chair declares that he's coming back to wreak vengeance. And the rest of his biker gang, man, is a big part of this movie. You've got a few components. You've got the police, who seem to be, out of a sort of a framework of Jaws, seem to be more concerned with spring break, with all the kids coming on. They don't want to ruin it. It's money that's going to get them through the year. And so with every death that comes up, it's conveniently swept under the rug. And really, it gets you angry, man, to how far and wide Saxon and this police department is willing to go. About the only one who just can't handle it is the mortician guy, the doctor who is called upon to do the autopsy work and whatnot. He just does not jive with anything that's going on, and in fact, he has a tragic end, but mostly because he just can't. He's just not going to be part of it anymore. And it's sort of a tragic end for him, but he's probably the only real. Now, our main characters, we got two buddies who are down there on spring break, Skip and Ronnie. Skip is, he's still bummed out because he apparently was a college football player who just came up short in the Orange Bowl, lost it by throwing a pick late in the game. So he's so, bummed out about that. His buddy Ronnie seems to be all that what he really isn't, meaning he's, thinks he's going to get every girl he sees and gets no girl he sees. And Gail, who is a bartender part-time, she'll actually connect with Skip because she sees in him what she rarely sees in anyone around there, and that is purity. And so those two will actually kind of connect. And now it's funny, Gail's sister is the one who was murdered, from which has been pinned on the former head of the biker gang, who has to go through the electric chair. And so when Skip's buddy Ronnie disappears, Skip and Gail will sort of join forces and try to, on their own, ascertain the mystery of the killer, who is actually committing these crimes. And of course, one of the people that are, front and center on their radar is, of course, Strycher, who's played by John Saxon. Now, this dude is sick. He's freaking twisted, man. He's a fun character to watch, man. You do get angry at him. But it is an enjoyable film, and they do play themselves off pretty serious. As far as certain characters that they really want you to buy into, they're willing to go to certain lengths to portray certain people in certain ways to sort of pigeonholes you into a certain spot, I guess, and so that the reveal in the end is that much more a shocking end, if you get what I'm saying. And so, and that's fine. I think certain things really work out pretty good. The writing's not bad, although the kills, like another film I reviewed not too long ago, are very conveniently set up, which does add into the mystique of this killer. This killer seems to be able to be anywhere and everywhere they want to be. And, some of it sort of jives well, some of it just sort of, it just depends on what pathway you're on. Where's this film wanting to be? Where is it? versus the other. And that is, I guess, sort of the joy of the film. It's just where it decides to land. I'll say this, this is pretty cool. The biker gang, as an homage, I guess, to the film Demons from '85, they are known as the Demons. And so the name is written on the back of their leather jackets, just as, you probably would have seen it advertised as Demons in 1985. And that's pretty cool. And that sort of also, adds into this supernatural mystery, mystique of the film. A lot of Jaws in here in terms of just protecting the town's interest no matter what. Saxon's character is willing to go to any length at all, which makes him probably pretty devilish. The guy who dies in the electric chair, his name is Diablo, which also, of course, adds into this mystique, this supernaturalism as well. And but where the film lands, I'll just, if you haven't seen it, I'll let you see it. But if you have seen it, you know exactly where this film lands. And I don't know. It is enjoyable, though. I did get a kick out of it. And the film historian's commentary is it's freaking beautiful, man. That's worth admission alone. If you just want to get brushed up on some Italian, just information on the Italian film industry and a lot of the names that most of us are really comfortable with, it is definitely worth that commentary. It's freaking awesome. Kino always puts out a great transfer. It looked really great on TV. Of course, I put it into my 4K player, so there's a little bit of an up scale there effect. Looked pretty good, sounded pretty good. The music, Claudio Simonetti does the score. At points, it sort of harkens to Iron Maiden-ish, a little early Goblin, but it really does sort of make you think about Phenomena, some of those sequences, maybe even opera. And it's pretty good. The rest of the soundtrack is laid out by a lot of music that is 80-ish. This is a very 80s movie in terms of dress, music, and whatever. It is very, very, very 80s. In fact, a lot of the attire is just embarrassing, quite honest. And I grew up in the 80s. I wore some of this stuff. It's pretty, I don't know. It's a fun ride, though, man. I really did get a kick out of it. I just wanted it to be something else, and it wasn't. But that's fine. I got a couple of the movies that came out that year that are exactly what I freaking love. But the opening sequence, man, of him in that chair is pretty awesome. And if I remember right, there's no score, no music, no nothing. He just gets electrocuted. It's almost silently. And it does, I don't know, it does add a little something there. So anyways, Nightmare Beach, the Lenzi effect, did he not really direct this movie? That's up for debate. His name is still on it. Closes out, helps to close out, what was the Italian boon of Italian horror goodness. Of course, Michele Soavi is still out there. Of course, his Cemetery Man will come, which is freaking phenomenal, right? But really, this is Lenzi, man. Lenzi, I agree with the film historian on the commentary. Lenzi does not get near the credit he deserves as a filmmaker. I mean, his time, spans a great period of years. Everything from war to Eurocrime, I think, to, of course, Yellow, mystery, horror, war. He doesn't get the credit, man, and Lenzi should, man. Anyways, Nightmare Beach from 1989. John Saxon's in this bad boy, man. It's pretty freaking awesome. Yeah, it's cool, man. You need to check it out for sure. Love the support. Thank you so much for all that you guys bring day in and day out as our videos continue to drop, man. Freaking love it. Thank you much. Always end these things off with Go Bills.
This is not a dream. Not a dream.